This is the National Marijuana News.
Hi there, and welcome to the show where we report and talk about both medicinal as well as recreational marijuana in a totally unbiased approach. We help America get the facts about marijuana. Todd Denkin here with the National Marijuana News, and boy, do we have a special show for you today. In the studio, one of my heroes, former Texas Longhorn great, two-time All-American, 1998 Heisman Trophy winner, Ricky Williams. Welcome to the National Marijuana News.
Thanks for having me.
I am with Aaron Justice, marijuana advocate and the Wizard of Oz, Mr. Jason Beck, Russ Belville, Betty Aldworth, Ed Rosenthal, well-known cultivator Kyle Cushman, author and grower Jorge Cervantes, Diana Oliver and Bruce Dietzen, Cheryl Schumann, the queen of cannabis, former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson, Congressman Andy Harris, Sean Kiernan from Weed for Warriors, from MPP Rob Campia, the father of modern-day medical marijuana Dr. Lester Grinspoon, Dr. Cindy Orser, Dr. Sue Sicily, the legendary Tommy Chong, Mr. Troy Dayton, Steve D'Angelo, Eric Shevin from the Shevin Law Group, from Advanced Nutrients, Big Mike, from High Times Magazine, Michael Kennedy. Governor Johnson is here on TNM News to talk about marijuana politics, his potential run for the White House, and what led him to make the transition into the cannabis industry. Governor Johnson, welcome to the National Marijuana News.
Well, Todd, great to be on. I'm going to suggest that politicians, for the most part, are absolutely out to lunch on this issue.
I'm Todd Denkin with the National Marijuana News, and today we have Maryland Congressman Andy Harris, who is well known for being against legalizing marijuana. So, Congressman, can you tell us your thoughts on medical marijuana?
Using the term medical marijuana is confusing to me because I'm an anesthesiologist. I prescribe a pure substance at a specific dose, specific time intervals. The drug has been FDA approved. None of this is true of medical marijuana. My job as a legislator is you have to weigh the risks and the benefits.
You use pot to clear your mind and to make you think right. So talk a little about how it makes you feel and how it does really clear your mind.
It gives you a different perspective. Like when I was stuck in a place and I couldn't see a way out, I would smoke and I would see different possibilities.
Had you ever heard of marijuana being a helpful drug before it was prescribed to Joey?
No, I actually come from a law enforcement religious family. Choosing cannabis was completely out of my character.
You know, I find it very interesting that you're not a cannabis user, and yet here you are involved deep in the industry and really creating some really cool things. So What drew you here?
Yeah, it's just that I think as physicians, we're looking for the best medicine, the highest level of care to provide patients.
They must sit around in Washington and just be like, oh my God, we can't let anybody ever find out this stuff because it's embarrassing. It is literally pathetic the way a veteran is treated after the sacrifice that these guys and girls give to not only you and me, but everybody around the country. And the way they're handled is just an atrocity.
You know, up to this point, in order to be involved in this business, you had to be a criminal, right? You had to really break the law.
I've been growing for 32 years, so I guess I was one of those criminals, but I never looked at it that way.
Right, that's how it was, right? And now
Absolutely.
the curtain's kind of being pulled back, and people are coming out of the shadows. I like to call this time in history Cannabis 2.0.
I like how you call this a movement. It's much bigger than an industry. It is a movement. And, you know, I always say that this is the first time in a very long time since civil rights and the women's movement that the people have really risen up and made some change. Why do you think that is?
Propaganda and sort of cultural inertia. And so once we've been able to crack through that barrier and get people to actually look at it and take it seriously, the dominoes just keep falling.
Everybody knows Tommy Chong, of course, from his classic movies with Cheech Marin and for his longtime support of legalizing marijuana.
Look what marijuana does to cancer cells. Kills them. So just imagine what dabbing would be like doing chemotherapy.
And it's Todd Denkin with Jen Gentile, and we are the first unbiased news show of its kind to inform and educate the country on the marijuana legalization movement. Let's get the latest news and update here on the National Marijuana News. The controversy over how medical marijuana will be dealt with within the workplace has become a hot topic once again, this time in Rhode Island. According to Yahoo.com, a graduate student is suing a textile company in the state after it refused to hire her for a 2-month internship because she uses medical marijuana to treat debilitating migraines. A study by the United States National Highway Traffic Administration found that drivers who test positive for THC in their blood are no more likely to be involved in motor vehicle crashes than drug-free drivers. The findings are important since this is the first large-scale study ever conducted in the United States to look at the crash risk associated with both drug and alcohol use by drivers. Las Vegas casino magnate and anti-marijuana supporter Sheldon Adelson has put up another $1.5 million for a group against a constitutional amendment that would let doctors prescribe marijuana for medical reasons in Florida. Adelson had donated $2.5 million to the Drug Free Florida campaign, which opposes the constitutional amendment on the November state ballot. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Todd Denkin, and you've been listening to the National Marijuana News. Stay informed, stay educated, stay unbiased. We'll see you next time.